The final two in the chase for the Hammer Eastern Open. Diana Teeters will open up the title match on the left-hand lane.
And the last time, oh, well, let's take a look at the lane breakdown first. Lane 26, 8 strikes. Lane 25, 6 strikes. Appears lane 26 is her favorite, and yet she gets to finish on it.
It's good balance, though. I mean, she's got a pretty good shot on both lanes, which has been the key to a couple of victories. Opens up the title match with an open, a split possibility. Man, she hasn't thrown anything close to that type of a shot in the first 2 games.
No, closest she came were the 2 tripped out 4-10s, where she got the 4s out, only left the 10. But again, we talked about the break, maybe a little slower ball speed. That ball hitting the dry too early, taking a jump to the left. This is the first time since 1989 that she has been in the championship match.
Open frame in the first. Sandra Jo Shiery will play this pair of lanes exactly the opposite.
She'll be more direct, similar to the Jill Albrecht's game, but maybe not as strong as a release as Jill.
Not nearly as many revolutions.
No, but she gets the job done. She has got, when she's got perfect timing, she just gets the job done.
Well, she likes to bowl a certain way. As you see that she also had 300 this week along with Karen. And she does it very, very well. Okay, when the shot sets up for her, she leads the tournament. As I mentioned, this is the 4th time she's led.
And you can see the move that Sandra Jo made after the first round, 18th, then right into the top 5. Another player very consistent all week, Jill Albrecht.
I think the biggest key for Sandra Jo is, can she develop some other shots to play some other portions of the lane so that when they're not set up like this, that she can still compete, as she threw a brilliant shot there and left a solid 8.
Well, that's it, Denny. She cannot really open up the lane with her game. She is dead on target. She only hits like a 2 or 3 board area, and she is so consistent. She does it so well every time. You mentioned when it's her shot, that's when she dominates.
No question. So the tough thing is, as we all know, lane conditions change from usually segment to segment on the national tour. And if you're out there trying to go up the track and the people that swing and gully the ball have the shot, you're not going to be able to compete with them.
That's exactly right. She's cashed 7 out of the 11 events this year. So there were a few events in there that were not conducive to her game at all.
Conversely, if you start putting up a shot where you can play a little right to left and up and at him a little bit, she's a world-class player without question. She could be player of the year.
She gave it a run a couple years ago.
Exactly. Diana with a swing shot. But I think the beauty of this pair of lanes right now, the way it is set up condition-wise, you can strike if you swing it, and you can sure strike if you go up and at it. So it's who bowls the best for the title.
That's right. And that's the way it should be, Denny.
Wouldn't you like to see it like that every week? That's what's tough about the sport of bowling. The condition of the lanes is just so difficult to dictate and make it fair and equitable for everybody.
And Diana looking again at her notepad, making sure, you know, what she did last time, what she's going to do to make it different.
Quality shot here. Beautiful shot. Maybe the best that she has made the entire week. She wanted that double to make up for the open, and she performed in a pressure situation.
That's right. Moving inside a little bit, keeping the ball longer in the lane conditioner before it jumped out of the dry area. Sandra Jo with that 3-finger grip. Results from a broken wrist at a young age.
This ball will be in the pocket.
That could have been a nice double as well.
Oh.
That solid 8-pin.
Could have been a 3-bagger.
Sandra Jo, very typical 4-step approach. For her height, she does not use much of the approach. Pushes the ball very low. Let's take a look at her backswing. Relatively shoulder high. And then look here how far away from the line she is. Almost 1.5 feet.
Very much a controlled swing. Pulls it through. Very strong.
Very compact.
And got that one a little bit left, a little bit high, and got a nice break out of it.
Sandra Jo, 86-87. Team USA member. She was the first amateur to win an LPBT national event. I remember that coming in South Bend, Indiana, which we will be returning in just 2 weeks.
Cross lane, no problem with the spare. And don't forget, as soon as we are done here in Baltimore this evening, the start of the National Basketball Association 93-94 season is just around the corner. And what better show could you watch to get updated on that than the NBA today as soon as we're finished? You mentioned Sandra Jo winning and, of course, being a member of Team USA. The first time I had a chance to watch her play was over in Helsinki in the World Championships when she was competing as an amateur. Diana Teeters looking for 3 in a row. Light hit. Didn't quite work out, but a nice shot.
Trying to make up for that open frame. Carry that light hit. 7-pin stance. As I mentioned, she was only in the championship match one other time in '89. That is the year that she won the event. It was in Fort Pierce, Florida. She defeated Jeannie Maiden, who is now Jeannie Nacarado, 176 to 169. Very low-scoring championship match that was, but it was close.
A case of survival. Well, you know, I've talked about it a lot. I'm not into the high scores. As we look at some high numbers here, 9,000 for first. I'm into quality shot making, being able to utilize all of your talents, all of your abilities, from choosing the right ball to the right angle, the right hand position, the speed, you know, taking a pair of lanes where you have to make great shots to hit the pocket and throw strikes. I mean, anybody can stand up on a wall and throw strikes.
That's true. Except this day and age, you better have the right ball in your hand.
Well, the toughest thing about that is the proprietors are trying to sell the game, and people don't want to go out and average 185 or 190. They want to average 220.
And they don't want to see the pros bowling 160 or 170. The people at home don't realize that the conditions that the pros bowl on are not the conditions that they bowl on in league.
All right, but why then does the U.S. Open in golf thrive when the best players in the world can't even shoot even par? Because the difficulty is explained and it's seen. We haven't done a very good job of explaining the pro condition to the fans throughout the country. It's a lot different than what they bowl on in league play.
But it's different week in and week
Sure
out, and we do try to make that explanation. We try to tell you how long the oil is, what kind of surface they're on, but we don't know what they're bowling on in their league, because that's all different as well.
A strike each in the 5th frame. Tight match. Sandra Jo leading by 2. $9,000 hanging in the balance. Sandra Jo trying to win her 4th, and Diana Teeters trying to win for the first time since 1989. It would be her 2nd title.
We talked about Sandra Jo's dry spell, but the last 2 times she's been on the telecast, she's bowled very well. She just lost to better scores. She lost to Jill Albrecht, 223 to 226, when Jill went on to win her title. So that was a good performance by Sandra Jo, and this is a good shot. You can see up and at him. This is more of a line that I thought Lisa Wagner was going to take.
I thought that was a tremendous shot. The thing I like most about Sandra Jo's game, tremendous acceleration at the foul line with the arm. Diana trying to circle it a little bit. Light hit again. I don't know if that lane is tightening up, but it's the 2nd time she's been light on lane 26.
Well, and also Diana could be tightening up just a little bit. Not quite as free with the arm swing, not getting the ball quite out to the dry at the same point as she was making before. Like I mentioned, she's worked extremely hard at her game. She wants nothing more than to break through and win again. Good spare conversion.